Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've had a Star Citizen questions and answers from the actor feature team at Cloud Imperium. They work on various features regarding what a character can do, which includes a lot of important gameplay features coming to the game in the not too distant future. This video is a breakdown and summary of that. The actor feature team is primarily focused on Squadron 42, and that work then gets filtered through and makes its way into the persistent universe. That means that things they work on mostly are must-haves for Squadron, but that doesn't preclude them from working on some persistent universe-focused things, and most of what they work on will be coming to the persistent universe after getting some appropriate refinement and gameplay added to it. So let's go over the questions and their answers. Will we get holsters for civilian clothing and use cases without flight suits? They're going to be giving clothing more functionality in the future, and they want to incentivize you to not wear an undersuit or armor in some situations, like when you're at a safe landing zone. Clothing will have armor values in the future, and you will be able to carry, stow, and holster your weapons. Currently, there's a lot of clothing in game, and that amount is only going to grow over time. They do want to find a sustainable development solution for updating, building out, and maintaining clothing that can get new features like this, like the ability to have holsters on, like the ability to attach other items to as they build their game. How come there hasn't been any new FPS weapons for a while? So they wanted to get a base set of weapons out, and they're almost there. There are a couple more that they would like to release for their base set, but there are some weapons that they're working on that require a bit more engineering work than previous ones, and that these ones have a bit more functionality, and they're also working on FPS gadgets at the moment for combat utility, some of them just general utility. They are starting to move into more unique weapons and items though. The Utiliflex Novia crossbow is still coming in the future. The bolts need additional tech before they actually put it in the game. There's also the Volt weapon that they've been working on, and that's going to start firing projectiles that go boom, 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 but then power up to fire a beam, and that also has the potential to overheat. Will we be able to right fallen trolleys and pushables? So they have plans for improving trolleys, and they're also going to be looking at hover trolleys in the future as well. Will we get backpacks that don't need to be attached to armor? So can you put them on civilian clothing and other use cases? They've discussed having an undersuit backpack. It's apparently a bit more difficult to have with clothing, as it needs to look good on a massive range of clothings, but they're looking at various solutions. Are we going to get parachutes anytime soon? They want players to survive ejections on planets. It needs designing though. They are aware that people really, really want parachutes, but they don't have any timelines for it yet, but we will see them eventually. How does FPS scanning work? It's the same signature for ships, and both ship and FPS scanning can pick up a lot of the same things. Passive detection for FPS character scanning is done with audio and decibels, rather than EM and IR signatures that ships use for passive detection. Basically, you see when someone is shooting a weapon or moving loudly. That's the sort of decibels and the sort of audio that it will pick up. You will still be able to actively ping when on foot to get IR and EM signatures when you're out of your ship. You're going to be able to scan ships to get additional information. This is going to be shown on your HUD via your helmet. If you're not wearing your helmet, like you're in just a civilian loadout, then there might be other things that you can purchase in game, like a lens or things that you can put on your face that will give you the same sort of readouts. If you scan a character, you'll be able to see weapons, grenades, ammo, inventory, potentially actor status, so you can see if they're downed or bleeding at range. And there are some big changes coming to radar and scanning in general in the near future. The interface is getting an overhaul for both on foot and ships. You'll be able to use the ping and scan to find FPS harvestables too, and this will be coming with the FPS scanning updates in the near future. Are restrooms and their usage going to be important? So they want toilets and restrooms and showers to be functional at some point. They don't want it to be The Sims though. You don't have to worry about a bladder meter or anything like that. The current plan is that hygiene will affect NPCs and the way they interact with you. If you've been out for like a week running around and on planets without a shower, they might comment on that. They might go, oh, what's that smell? Or even they might not serve you until you've had a wash. Your character's appearance and hygiene will also tie into the wear and dirt systems, so you should be able to tell based on how your character looks if you need a wash or not. So you'll be able to look at your arms and go, well, they're pretty muddy. Will there be a fireman's carry or better way of moving bodies? So there are going to be ways of picking up bodies and moving them. They're looking at restraining and bounty hunting at the moment, so they haven't decided what kind of restraints there'll be, but it will be for both hands and feet, and you're going to be able to place restrained characters into status pods, but there's going to be better ways of moving bodies, putting them on stretchers, and that sort of stuff as well. What sort of weapon attachments are planned? They will be adding more weapon attachments in the future. Bipods will be available for some weapons, giving you more stability at the cost of mobility. There are going to be various other attachments that will change the functionality of a weapon. They're also going to see better laser sights and red dot sights in the future that work more appropriately too. Will we be able to have saved custom loadouts for FPS equipment? So lockers will allow you to quick swap equipment. You can have a suit of armor, weapons and attachments all set up in a locker, and just grab it, bam, and then you'll sort of swap it for what you're currently wearing, put that in there, take the new stuff. There will be support for custom civilian clothing and outfits, and you'll be able to store these in like wardrobes or lockers as well. If you can't remove your helmet in some places, how can we eat there or drink there? So they're discussing this, but flight suits kind of make you into a mini spaceship. They might have some integrated suit systems in the future. They want players to pre-prepare, eat and drink before going out into hazardous areas while they might not be able to take off their suit for a long period of time. But I suspect we will see sustenance in the form of emergency rations, medipens, stuff that you can sort of jam into your suit that's not normal food. They are working on removing your helmet as an action, having you hold your helmet to the side or attach it to your hip, and then you can quickly put your helmet on and off in a more diegetic way. EVA. So EVA updates are coming. It's in development for Squadron 42 currently, sort of the expanded EVA 2.0. Suits will have fuel, and that fuel will be limited, and you can use that to fly around to some extent. You will want to pull and push yourself around as well to help with this, and to obviously not use as much fuel or no fuel. You'll be able to push yourself around quite a bit though. You'll move in a direction even after you've stopped thrusting. So you thrust a little bit, you'll move in that direction. If you change direction and thrust in that new direction, you will move very quickly in that new direction. So it's not a fully decoupled mode or anything like that. It sounds like they don't want it to be overly driftly and overly fiddly. Non-lethal weapons, are we getting them? There is one in the pipeline at the moment that allows you to knock a character out. We're going to start to see these weapons and types of weapon as they overhaul and update bounty hunting. Where are they taking medical gameplay next? They aren't happy with the auto gameplay on the medigun. They want it to be much more involved and for players to get good with those mechanics and become specialists and medics. There are going to be updates and changes and when there's more content to support a more in-depth need for medical expertise, and currently having the system too fiddly would hinder gameplay and other testing. We are going to start to see costs associated with medical beds and healing injuries. Being a medic or running a mediship should enable players to make some money. They are planning utility drugs too, so some will enhance your performance, but there will be consequences in the form of potentially like blood drug level and all that sort of stuff going up. Death of a Spaceman and permadeath in the future will heavily change medical gameplay and the want and need of players to get healed, rescued and treated. At the moment, you can just respawn, you lose what stuff was on your body. Not so much of a big deal. In the future, that's going to be a little more harsh. They are going to have specialised armour that might give you bonuses towards certain like roles and tasks. You might be able to store more medical gun fluid, or maybe the suit specialises in scanning or stealth, or aids with a different role. They've compared a sort of first responder, like having a light armor and lots of consumable slots to sort of be able to heal people quickly, run into an area, get there very quickly, get out very quickly, to a battle medic that would have heavy armor and would want to sort of rescue or treat people in a much more hostile environment. I like to think maybe they'll have different sort of ways of getting readouts and information. Maybe you don't have to rely on your medical gun. Maybe you can see a readout on someone in a lot more detail from your helmet here, because they did talk about scanning people and seeing their statuses. You might have a big, heavy power suit that might be able to charge energy mags more quickly as well. What is the current state of Salvage? After you destroy another ship, you're going to be able to salvage the debris with the hand salvage tool, which acts almost like a hoover or vacuum cleaner, sucking up the surface layer of the hull. And you're going to then be able to use that to repair your ship. So you're going to need to find the holes and the damaged areas, and then you'll be able to use that same material to patch them up. And it's not going to look brand new when you patch up a ship. The paint won't be there. You'll see it as a patch job. You'll be able to look at the scars effectively on a ship even after you've repaired them. They're going to be working on all ships leaving salvageable remains at some point, but they didn't go into too many of the details. You will be able to salvage ground vehicles as well in the future. It's all using the same system and tech. It sounds like we'll be able to salvage vehicles in 3.18, but that was not confirmed. What is the current state of the inventory system? They want to introduce a lot of quality of life improvements, some of which are currently being worked on. They want to move away from magic boxes of holding, and they want to have individual access points and storage lockers with physicalization of items. That's the planned goal. Again, with cargo, they want this to be physicalized as possible, and they want the ships and interiors to be updated to reflect this. In 3.17, there is a temporary feature of being able to move ship weapons and items into the cargo area to buy. This is going to come later in the PTU cycle at time of recording, but you're going to be able to buy and sell stuff like, ship items directly into your cargo bay, and this is going to be replaced by true physicalized cargo in the future. There are lots of updates coming with Alpha 3.18 and beyond. There will be a lot of improvement with inventory, stacking, moving all, easy access to that inventory system, and general moving stuff and more. There's a goal to make the inventory system more manageable and easier to use. They also want characters to be able to be searchable and searched. I think they literally mean having NPCs come up to you and frisk you down, or see if you're smuggling anything. Boom. That's it for your Star Citizen summary this time. Are you excited to see Salvage coming in Alpha 3.18? Are you looking forward to inventory updates? What about the new scanning and radar overhaul? What improvements would you like to see in the short term to any of these gameplay mechanics that we talked about? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I was feeling tired and sluggish. I found out that I was allergic to adverts and malware in 2022, which means I can't use the internet. If only there was a service that could help. Wait! There is! NordVPN.com/BoredGamer! It's NordVPN that I use, and it blasts away a load of my advert and malware-based concerns, while allowing me to freely explore the internet. Maybe I want to be in the USA today, and pretend that I'm an American. What's this? Now I'm down under in the Australias? Wait, now I'm in the UK. Okay, I live there. That is less impressive. NordVPN has done so much for me. Sign up with the links below, or go to NordVPN.com/BoredGamer. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For April 2022, we're giving away an Origin 400i. It's a luxury exploration and touring ship, which will be great for a small crew wishing to explore the stars, or try out a multitude of other gameplay. It's like a little yacht in space, a little piece of luxury. All you need to do to be in for a chance to win that is comment on any of my videos made during April 2022. More details in the description below. If you wish to further support the channel, consider clicking the join button under my videos to become a channel member, or even become a Patreon. That goes a massive way in helping with our day-to-day videos and gives you a variety of little exclusives as well. But it should just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Join today! Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment if so inclined, and I'll see you in the verse.